Okay, our next speaker. I kept hearing his name. He's coaching so-and-so, he's coaching so-and-so, he's coaching so-and-so, he's coaching so-and-so. And all of them are just killing it. I mean, they're just all monster builders, and they're loving. They really come from contribution and attraction, not recruiting, but attracting agents. He's a big on giving and making a contribution into their life to earn the right to have the discussion. I never heard him speak. So I called him up, said, man, I'm hearing your name everywhere. I'd love for you to come to Sacramento, and I want to add value to my team. What would you charge? I was thinking it was going to be like $10,000 for the day. He's like $25,000. Well, one thing about me is I'm a terrible negotiator. I'm just like, okay. I think he expected me to negotiate a little bit. It's like, we bought jewelry on the beach. Anybody bought jewelry on the beach from the jewelry? The guy's like, $70. I'm like, no deal. He goes, okay, how much? I go, 80. He's like, sir, I said 70. I go, no deal. 80. And he's like, okay. So, you know what? I'm not going to work him down. Stop doing that. These people are not rich. Help them. Anyways. All right, so he came. He blew our minds in Sacramento about a month ago. It was so good. I said, he just mentioned he's going to be here while we're here. I go, can you come over and just share a little bit? Not charge me $25,000. So I don't know, I just asked him to come, and he came. He's got a heart of gold. Help me welcome the famous, unbelievable John Cheplak, everybody. He's in the house. Look at him. Beautiful man.
Have a good time.
Thank you. No, I'm good. So let me be transparent with y'all here. So we had this trip planned, and we were sitting up in Whitefish. Me and my significant other. See, I've been single for about 8 years. I'm good at recruiting, but basically have maybe not done that well in that part of recruiting. So, but I've got some friends in the room here that know that I've done real, real well. And so we're up in Whitefish, Montana, and having a good time. And my buddy Dan Beer's up there too. And then I'm sitting there with my significant other and saying, let's go to Cabo. Okay, so we book it. I have this rule that you need to book a vacation before you leave the vacation you're on. Who's with me on that one? That's what winners do, period, okay? I said, so she's in the real estate business, so am I. No phones, no Zooms, no nothing. Awesome, okay? So Brent calls me up. Hey, what are you doing April 27th? I'm in Cabo. Yeah, I know. So will you come speak? Let me make a phone call. I'm a good negotiator. Thank you, Brittany, for letting it go off today. Anyways, it is my sincere privilege to be here. I couldn't believe it when Brent called me. I guess I had a better poker voice than him. And what I want you guys, let me ask you a question. Do you feel you have the best model on the planet? Yes or no? Yes. That was weak. Yes or no? Yes. Good, because you got a problem. People don't join a model or leave a model. They join or leave a leader. Period. Clunk. Okay? People don't buy things or join things. They join and buy experiences. Your job is to create an experience of what it's going to be like when they join, before they join. Let me say it again. Your job is to create an experience of what it's going to be like when they join, before they join. You with me on that? So would you like to know behind the scenes on the other side what the whales that you're trying to recruit are saying? I guess not. Would you like to know what they're saying? Okay, do you think they give a damn about your stock, yes or no? Do you think that keeps them up at night, yes or no? See, marketing 101, okay, what's the thing that keeps people up at night? It's called message to market match. Message to market match. Does your message match your market? I'll share with you a story too. This isn't just theory. In 2000, and I can't make it up because there's people in the room from the Sacramento marketplace. I was exec VP GM for Prucal, Nevada, Texas. We're a split model. And one thing I said in being that executive is I said, I'm not going to sit in the ivory tower. I'm going to be in the trenches. I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to make it happen. Okay, great. We've got $2 million, no recourse money to go in and repopulate the marketplace. Okay, and people can remember this. I think it's when a Prudential brand went dark and Coldwell Banker took over. I went whale hunting. And I grabbed Val Oshikoff, who was doing 20 million in 2000 in that marketplace. It's called the Informal Leader Model. Write it down. Here's what you need to say when you call people too, when you get some pushback, compliment them and say, you know something, I've heard so many great things about your organization. I've heard so many great things about your team. Who are the people that are true glue to your organization? Val Oshikoff, Val Oshikoff, Val Oshikoff. So I called him up. Guess what he said to me? I'm a Mike Ferry coach. I don't need to talk to you. Here's what I know about a Mike Ferry coach, is you're a lifelong learner and you're open-minded, aren't you? Wouldn't it make sense for us to sit down, if nothing else, we could have a valuable exchange? No. Are you open-minded about your business? Write it down. Are you a big thinker or a little? I'm open-minded. Great. Let me give you the 4 promises, but don't violate them. See, you got to handle objections in advance. Stop being elementary and waiting for your tricky objection handler, okay? Everyone wants to buy, no one wants to be sold. How come you keep freaking selling them? Stop fighting human nature, okay? I'm gonna make you some promises. I'm not gonna talk about my company. I'm not gonna talk about your company. I'm not gonna try and recruit you. We're gonna talk about the only thing that matters you and your business. Is tomorrow good or Friday better? Nope, I'm not gonna meet with you. I'm happy where I'm at. Are you a big thinker or a little thinker? Well, of course I'm a big thinker. Awesome. So what I'm hearing you say is you're a big thinker and you're open-minded. What would get in the way of us meeting? Here's what I want to share with you. On your recruiting calls, okay, if you give up before 3 objections, you wasted your time. It's a wasted call. Does anyone know what the ROI is of that one person who was doing 20 million? I walked over 7 million in GCI. GCI, not sales volume, because I found the informal leader. He put him in a room at a round table pizza banquet room, stood up on the table. I mean, there were some conversations him and I had. I walked over 7 million GCI. And guess what I did? See, back then, you know, I was in a split model. We were retaining 30%. They were on 70-30 splits. So I don't know, you guys do the math on 7 million GCI at 30%. That's 2 million retained company dollar. So guess what I did? But I paid him an 864. I didn't have your model, but I was creative. I paid him 8% of the retained company dollar year 1. I paid him 6% of the retained company dollar year 2. I paid him 4% of the retained company dollar year 3. But how did I get there? I sat down in a meeting with him and I talked about his business. And you want to know what? Stop thinking about what you need to tell people, and I need you to be obsessed with the right questions to ask them. Brilliance is not demonstrated by what you tell someone. It's demonstrated by the thought-provoking questions you ask them, especially the ones that their leader isn't asking them. Because do you know what most leaders are doing with the whales in their organization? Anyone know? I leave them alone. Wow, that's inspiring. That's why I make the big bucks. Keep leaving them alone, okay? See, your job is to create an experience of what it's going to be like when they join, before they join. So then I went down to Folsom. I called into Elk Grove, Laguna. The Cobalt banker forgot to sign an exclusive for the shopping center, so I took 8,000 square feet next door. I'm a savage. And they put a restraining order on me too. Don't do this. You know, listen, I've grown up. I was a kid then. So here's what I did. Don't do this. I would go into the offices and interview. Hey, I'm John Cheplak. I want to interview. And I've changed my life a lot since then, so bear with me. I got sober after that. Anyways, but that's true. Anyways, so I walked in. Thanks. I'd walk in, I'd say I want to interview, and I'd go back, and the branch manager would be there. I said, so one of 2 things are going to happen. I'm recruiting you, and you're walking everyone over with you, or I'm going to take everyone. Which one do you want to do? Alternative close. It worked twice, but don't do it. Anyways, here's what I did. In Elk Grove, I called, and I did the who's the glue, okay? She said, Deborah, the admin. Imagine pulling an admin person over. I pulled the admin over and I gave her an 864. We recruited $200 million in sales volume into that office, into Elk Grove, Laguna. Formal leader. Find the formal leader. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay? So let me jump in. I want to hit you guys with a whole bunch of things here. First of all, let me ask you a question. Who sells real estate? Oh, the rest of you don't sell real estate? Who sells real estate in the room? Awesome. I want to ask you questions. Tell me about your system and process, the human resource, the financial resources, the technology that you have, that you've invested in for recruiting at least a fraction of the level that you have for your sales. Your drip email campaign, your online presence, your social media. Raise your hand if you have a system and process that replicates that. 4. Wow. So some of you have got teams. Let me share with you, and I've got clients in the room. They've sat on the room. I've got one person on the team that's going to make $900,000 in retained company dollar from a team member. Yet we'll pay for leads. We'll have follow-up boss and call action, and we'll have all these tricks and KV core and da-da-da-da-da-da. We have this freaking science project to make $10,000. Wow. But yet we won't create this system and process for recruiting where you can have one agent. I'm not even talking about the passive income. I'm talking about someone on your team or your brokers. We've got people, $400, $500, $600, $700, $900,000 in retained company dollar. Anyone here going to go back and put a system and process together for their recruiting, yes or no? Raise your hand if you have a consistent email drip campaign for your recruits. You're taking a look at your subject lines that work each week. It's value-based. There's no calls to action every single week, and you can tell me what your open rates are. Who does? I just made you a shit ton of money because it works. And anyone who tells you that email doesn't work, no, they're a dinosaur. I call them innovators. You know what an innovator is? I'm working on this new thing. Really? Tell me about your video initiative. They've mastered nothing. They try everything. Mastery wins. The highest performers on the planet keep it really, really simple. Super, super simple. Mastery wins. I'm going to share with you right now, okay? 3 things you need to have for your recruiting. Philosophy, methodology, technology. You need to have that for any business. Right now, take a look at your business almost 4 months into the year. If there's any part of it that's not functioning well, it's going to fall in one of those 3 silos. Let me give you the 3 for recruiting. Philosophy. Create an experience of what it's going to be like when people join before they join. Methodology. I'm going to coach, train, and lead the competitors' agents better than their current leader is, so that one of 2 things happen over time. They see value in my interaction and want to join, or if something changes, I'm their destination broker. Number 3, my technology. My technology is going to be this. Ready? I'm going to give it to you really quick, but I'm going to give you, you're going to get, would anyone like an entire recruiting system process that works, that's proven, okay? Great. And I'm going to help you because a lot of y'all, you're casting your line out there and you're testing the bait, okay? I'm going to help you fish over the side of the boat, okay? So here's the simple system. What y'all need to do, see, the consumer who is agents, whether it's B2B or B2C in your recruiting, the expectation of the usage of video is 300% greater in 2021 than last year. Would you guys agree with me on that? Yes or no? Okay? And y'all are afraid of what your hair looks like or your freaking need for Botox looks like, so you won't do a freaking video. You have issues. Shame on you. You should be embarrassed. Here's what I want to excite you about. Okay? Ready? If you are growing your organization, if you are growing your real estate business and you're not using video, you're operating at 45% of capacity. Write it down, because I know that 90% of you do not have a consistent video initiative. I'll guarantee. Challenge me. Okay? 55% of the impact of communication is in body language. Tell me how much body language is in that text message, that email, that phone call. 0. Imagine what you've accomplished without a consistent video initiative. See, this stuff is not rocket science. It's really, really simple. It's really, really simple, okay? So here's what you're going to need to do. You need to create one piece of video, and I'm going to give you, you'll download it. Write this down. Guess what? I'm not going to sell you anything either. I never did in recruiting. CheplakCabo.com. CheplakCabo.com. You will get the Dragon Slayer recruiting script. It's proven. People have used it that are in this room. You'll get 2 of them. You'll get the Get Comfy call. You'll get the Did You Get call. You're going to get my interview. It takes you through 2 types of interviews, okay? You're going to get the multi-channel recruiting marketing machine, okay? Full-blown system and process to follow, to create the content. See, because here's what I've tested. I've tested cadence. Oh, I don't want to send an email once a week. How come? My open rates suck. No, your message sucks. Email is a slayer. We've taken people that start out 4%, 5%, up to 38%, and people are asking them. See, I want to pull people to me, not push myself on them. Does that make sense? Someone in this room called me about 3 years ago, and I was really fortunate. We've become great friends. And I know why he does what he does in both his business and in his recruiting, passive income. And so we're mapping out a recruiting event. And I was at Inman in a hotel room. I remember it, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do an event, and at the very end, we're going to do this. We're going to convert. I said, no, you're not. I said, no, you're not. It takes 14 contacts on average in some way, shape, or form before a licensed person makes a move. Stop fighting human nature. I'm not smart. I've just hung around a long time. 30-some years. And I ask people like you that are a lot smarter than me to give me the numbers, and so I gather your data. 14 contacts in some way, shape, or form of value before a licensed person makes a move. Have you ever talked to someone, thought you had a really great interaction with them, a great interview, it was amazing, and they ghosted you? Raise your hand. The rest are liars. And let me guess, you tried to convert them, didn't you? Right? Why do you fight human nature? And you're still going to when you go back. Okay? Here's another one let me give you a pro tip from the other side. Stop getting butthurt when someone chooses someone else from EXP. That's called loser. And it's killing you. And it's making the high road people, you know the people I work with, you know what they do? When someone chooses, I've watched, listen, let's just be transparent about it. I've watched the people I work with call that person up and say, you know what? You made the decision that's best for you. Here's what I want you to know. I want you to know that I'm here to serve you too. Period. Okay? Let me help you on another little dialogue too. You want to win when you're, listen, is anyone out there right now talking to someone that's talking to someone else within this organization? Yes or no? Yes. Good. Here's what you say. You know what? Dan Beer is a pro. And if you choose Dan Beer, if you choose Brent Gove, if you choose Veronica Figueroa, if you choose Gusty, you're going to win. They won't freaking call those guys. You guys, human behavior. You are showing pure insecurity. Well, yeah, but if you go with Dan, Dan's this. But if you go with Veronica, Veronica's this. Well, Brent's too busy, his is too big. You're a loser. You're a freaking loser. What is it that you're trying to tell me about you that you're insecure about? True or false? True or false? Absolutely, you guys. Abundance, man, it wins every single time. Every single time. See, watch this. Am I a recruiter, yes or no? 100%. I'm not going to sell you a damn thing. Watch me recruit you today. I'm giving you value. You're going to download a document. I'm not asking you to buy anything. You're going to end up in a room with me someday, aren't you? Yes or no? It's real easy, and I'll never ask you. How many salespeople do I have on my staff that fills my events with 125 people at a high-dollar event at $2,500 and $3,000? How many salespeople are calling out there selling it? How many? That's called zero. Give people value. Expect nothing in return. Good guys finish last. No, the good guy and the good gal who tries it once or twice and then quits. Don't be a freaking quitter. Contribution is the name of the game, period. And I can share with you, I'm inside teams, a team that sold 600 homes last month. in a city that was burning down. And y'all might know who he is. And he had 40 people on a Zoom with me a year ago. And you want to know what he led with? Contribution. And I bring that up because that's what you're about. Period. You're here to contribute to your community. You're here to contribute to the lives of other people. Okay? And the number one thing that you can do is go out and give value. Give value, give value. My good friend Dan, actually, he was the one I had the conversation with 3 years ago. And I called Dan. I get emotional because my friendships matter. That's someone that pays me. Veronica, someone that pays me. Gusty, they pay me. You want to know why we're winning? Because we lead with the heart. See, the heart chooses, the mind justifies. Stop with your logic. Stop with your stock. Stop with your money. Start with the experience you're going to create for people. Because anyone know that Dan runs a pretty good business? And it's not because of me. By no means am I standing here, Veronica. It's not because of me, Gusty. I mean, there's many of you that I've worked in, and I don't hear with it, and I don't mean, but here's the thing. He's a humble implementer. I said, don't sell. Okay, just go out and do it. And Dan went on the road, and he presented it, and Dan gave his value, and he puts his P&L up on there, and he shares with people everything inside his marketplace. He shares what he's doing, and Dan's doing pretty good. And I'm sure there's many examples of you out there like that. And if you're doing it, just keep doing it. You don't need to expect anything back, because I can promise you this, okay? You can't lose when you contribute. You can't lose when you contribute. You can't lose when you're consistent. I love what everyone was saying earlier today. Here's how I phrased it in a different way. Wake up every day and just replace yourself. That's it. Wake up every day and replace yourself. Put one piece of content out there every single week that's value-based, that has no calls to action in video, or be a dinosaur and just do, little letters, okay? If you want to have progressive agents, act like a progressive leader, okay? Put that piece of content across all channels, send it via email, see what message works, check in and make sure people got it, find out how you can grow your business, and you will smoke everyone's ass. Appreciate you all. Appreciate the time. Thanks again, Brent.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. 100%. A+. John Cheplak, everyone. Woo!